minute. So today I'm going to try something a little different. I'm having some trouble with my stream quality. Okay. So yeah, I'm having some trouble with my stream quality. And what I'm going to try and do differently today, a little different, I'm having some trouble with try running my stream with my computer in turbo mode. And what turbo mode does is it shuts down all of the fancy features of Windows. In other words, like, any of the like transparent, window alpha blurs and animated stuff that Windows tries to do to be fancy is just off right now. My windows are just like, white squares, basically. What I'm hoping is that that might free up some resource allocation for the broadcast. Not really sure. That might create other problems, in which case, it seems to be going poorly. I'm just going to restart my stream. So yeah, bear with me. This is live troubleshooting. Hopefully all will go well, and my stream will actually be much better than it has. But we have to anticipate some unanticipated problems. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna get started and see how this goes. Of course, bear with me while I settle into my saddle. I think everything should be on and good. I don't know about my music volume. Ravenwood, don't shoot Trouble, he's a good dog. Aw, poor Trouble. How are you doing tonight? Poor Trouble. Just wants to be petted. I also lowered the megahertz slightly on my audio. So hopefully that won't be enough to mess with the quality too much. It'll just be enough that it'll stream a little easier. Basically, my goal is to figure out, with the hardware that I have, how to just, get everything running so that there's no red warning of high encoding. I'm trying to get rid of that because it stutters whenever I do that, and it's horrible. Lol, okay. Cold as all, hang you. Assuming that hang is an autocorrect. But yeah, it's pretty freaking cold here, but I've got these work lights on now. So I have 2 incandescent lights on both sides of me. So that's 4 incandescent lights that are bouncing light at the wall, bounce light back at me. Work out my lighting rig so that I'm not blown out or anything, but that there's enough light for me to work. So like if I just had all my light shining at the page, my webcam would just blow out and you wouldn't be able to see it. It would be terrible. That does. So yeah, some experiments. We're gonna get this stream to professional quality if it kills me, which I can't see how it would. But as that came out of my mouth, I realized that sounded terrible. So yeah. We're gonna get this happening. So what I'm doing here today, I'm working on page 9 and page 10 of Tracy Queen. So this is my small sketch. Pop this out. So I have my little script, and I did my little super mushy, horrible thumbnail. Just to get like my basic, don't die, Jayel, I'm gonna try. Thanks. Just to get my basic layout, my small thumbnail. And then I redrew that at actual comic book size. I have, a better sense of what's going on. And then I took that, scanned it, photoshopped it to be blue line, and I actually in Photoshop I did scale things a little differently and move things around. Still just kind of working out my basic layout and all that. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna dive into this and see how this goes. And there might even still be obviously a few changes that I'll do as I'm like, you know, working on this. The idea is just to get it as neat as possible. Ink. Let's see, are you gonna get all the top of my head? I might move this a little. Give my earthquaking. Get a little shake up. Try and get that you're not seeing the top of my head, but that you are seeing my art. You'll still, you know, as I lean forward quite a bit, you'll get a little bit of my hairdo. You know, I combed it before the stream, so hopefully that won't be too... Zoom in and move. Now that'll clear up some of that top of my head business. Also, Raven, on your end, how is my sound quality like? Is my voice to music ratio good? Should I lower the music or raise it? Oh yeah, so what I was saying about the lights, duh. You know, having 4 incandescent lights bouncing, it makes actually quite a bit of warmth. So I'm much warmer right by my workstation than anywhere else in the house. But yeah, outside it is early cold. Early. The music could be a little quieter, but it's not drowning you out, so it's up to you if you want to bother with it. Oh, it's no big deal, I'll just down a notch. Maybe 2 notches, I don't know. So far, though, I have not gotten a high encoding warning, so hoping that maybe this setup that I have now is gonna prove successful. Yay! So, how's your day been so far? I guess it's what, 7:30 for you now? Is that right? You're in your evening hours. Day has come to a close, hopefully a gentle close. Been okay. Made soup, which turned out delicious. Awesome. Delicious soup is certainly one of the finer things. I finished The Great Nations of Rendaria today. That was exciting. It's all together in Adobe InDesign now, so I'm getting it set up to fit a printing template. And now I'm just shopping around to find the best place to get it printed, because we don't have the initial capital to like just go to any old printer and be like, yeah, we'll take a minimum order of 500 copies, you know, like they all have minimum orders. But then there's some places that do print on demand, which just prints a copy when it's ordered. So anytime someone orders a copy, they print it, they ship it, and then they give you a percentage. So necessity dictates that that's what we have to do. So we're trying to find what print-on-demand service will give us the most amount of return, and we'll also have whatever, you know, the best perks are. Like, we found one place. I saw you were looking for printing options. Yeah, totally. Or we're friends on Facebook. Yeah, cool. Wasn't sure if it would turn out, as I'd never made it vegetarian before, but it worked. But it worked, which was awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's always like taking a recipe and trying to convert it can be scary, because sometimes, you know, substitutions just don't work the way you think they would. It's really exciting when it does work. But yeah. So printing, right? Yeah, I found this one place called BookBaby, and they boast, you know, they've got good, like, the best prices that I could see for print on demand. Like, each copy would be like $19, so if I sell them for like, you know, $30, the rest of that is profit, which is great. And for a 150-page hardcover, high-quality art book, signed, you know, like, $30 I think is totally reasonable. I mean, any art books that I have that are high quality are usually $30, and they're not even signed. So the idea would be, you know, as they're printed, they would be shipped out, and it would be cheaper if it's not signed, because if it is signed, I have to have it ordered here so that I can do that. But one of the cool things about BookBaby, supposedly, I mean, I'm still reading into it and looking at all the testimonials, which the testimonials are, like, great. Oh, Twitter, actually. Okay, great, right. I forgot that. Sometimes I forget that what I post on Facebook automatically goes to Twitter, and I don't always check my Twitter account. Anyway. So yeah, this place, once they accept your book for print on demand, they also send it to make it available through Barnes & Noble. They make it available through several places. There's like Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Diamond, and like, I don't know, like 50 other places. And they were all like, you know, a lot of them were places that I recognized, and that was exciting. But if you want to opt into that, you have to buy a minimum of 25 books up front, and then pay $200 to opt into their service that puts your book for sale everywhere, internationally, etc. I'm like, well, if I buy 25 books up front, I might be able to sell those and actually have a whole package, you know, pay for itself and break even. Especially if I'm selling those printed 25 copies signed. I could sell them for a little bit more and hopefully break even. In which case we could put it on our business credit card because we just don't have the money. You know, thus far we've been spending all of our money from our Patreon supporters on advertising. And it's not making any money for us, like, we're not taking any money from it, we're just trying to build this business. So, you know, it's expensive. It's fine, don't worry, you've got a lot to keep track of. Yeah, I should be better about Twitter, though. You know, again, it's one of those all parts of this moving whole, you know, to try and be on top of all these things and make sure that, you know, anyone that we are connected to, like, actually feels the connection, that I'm, like, spending the time to, like, connect to people and not just, like, you know, not just BS. Anyway, yeah, so it's a lot going on, but, kind of pretty excited about this book baby option. Another thing we're gonna do is, before getting them printed, that minimum order of 25, we're gonna go around with the proof to just as many local bookstores and comic book stores in the area as possible, and see if any of them will carry it. Like, hey, would you buy 10 copies of this off me? And if so, for how much? You know, and if we get, like, you know, 10 different stores saying, yeah, we'll buy 10 copies, sure, no problem. Move my webcams. I am working on art. Move this to down here. Sorry, give me a second. Had it set up on my monitor because when I'm doing digital, I'm looking up the whole time. But now that I'm doing traditional, I'll be looking down most of the time, so probably better for anyone watching. My webcam is not up so high. As I'm leaning down, you're still seeing some of my face at least. Yeah. So yeah, like if we get, you know, 10 stores to agree to carry 10 copies, maybe we'll just get 100 printed, or, you know, I mean, I'm making up numbers. I have no idea what the actual, you know, numbers might look like. I mean, maybe we get one store to agree to buy 5 copies, in which case we'll just give them 5 out of that initial 25 minimum run. At least that's something, you know, like anything that we can have a guaranteed sale up front. Going to help us be in a position to make a better decision. Don't want, you know, necessity to dictate that you're making the most budget decision possible, because everybody knows it takes money to make money. If you can't sink money into something, it is going to fail. But the idea is to do it smartly, so that any money that you're sinking into it is short-term, you know, investment with at least an even return in sight. And I just want to not be in the red as much as possible. Yeah, listen to me, I sound like I think I'm a businessman or something. Although I have, we've been reading up a lot on business, and we actually, we were hired earlier last year to publish a book for someone who was self-publishing, and the book was about business. It was about startups, and that went pretty well. And so that was our first real experience in setting a book up for printing, and the prints came out beautiful. But also the book itself was about business, so that was some great insight for us to learn from. And I was also, for that company, that client, working on a weekly podcast at the time, where they would just have like entrepreneurs who, set up their own business, come onto the show and talk about how they got it started, what their challenges were, what good advice for other people in the same boat and all that. So like while I was doing this, posting it on their website and doing the sound production, the audio quality control, and cleaning up the files they were giving me and all that, I was also, listening to these podcasts with all these people talk about their businesses. Gave me a lot of insight. So, I again wouldn't say I'm like a vetted business person, but this year I certainly have a lot more information than I did the previous year. I mean, you have hard copies that you could show them before you get them printed. Right, canvassing ahead of time before you buy any copies might be a good idea. Totally agree. So yeah, that's exactly right. What we're gonna do is get the proof, and work on that, fix anything that might need to be fixed, and then get another proof copy, and take that proof copy and canvas with it. And then say, hey, how many, if any, of these would you carry, and how much would you give us for them, And then use that to do the math on how many, if any, we should actually get printed as hard copies. Once we get that proof, it's just going to be like, zoom, we're out the door and checking around in all the stores and all that. So drunk. Alright. No one you get approved. Don't forget the digital world too. I don't know if BookBaby will offer ebooks too, but yeah, so I was also reading into that, and I'm pretty sure with that package, if I order the 25 up front and then pay, you know, the extra like 200 to get it into their sell everywhere thing, that includes also digital. So, you know, you'd be able to order it through Barnes & Noble, through Amazon, and that would include both digital and or hard copy. So, and again, it's something we're still looking into, and, you know, if we find any snags, like, we'll take it elsewhere, but we've already looked at, like, you know, I've had a couple people suggest a few different places already that I looked at, and, you know, a lot of the places that seemed a bit simpler and, like, less upfront, they were more expensive per book. So we'd be either making less money per book, or just, you know, selling them for way more expensively, in which case less people are going to buy them. So yeah, it's all stuff we have to balance out, but definitely I think ebooks are a cool idea. This entire book, all of the text is you know, it's not like live text like a Word document with images, it's all JPEGs. So all of the text is actually embedded into the images, because the text is my own font that I hand drew. So with that, you know, a lot of times ebooks, what they do is they keep the font like digital and live, like it's still live vector font, so you can change the font size and, you know, zoom in and zoom out, and it'll, you know, change for you. And in some ebooks, in some instances, you can even change the font if you have a preferred font. So for this book, it's just a PDF made out of JPEGs. So we would not be able to do that. So I have to see if that kills the whole, you know, ebook option or not. I don't really know enough about how that works, but definitely something to look into. And I already think, like, for sure, any of our patron subscribers on Patreon, they're definitely going to get PDF copies of the book. So, I mean, that's, you know, it's a PDF, which in a sense is an ebook that, you know, you could load on your phone, or, I mean, I guess you would have to have Acrobat or some kind of PDF viewer, but you could definitely get that on pretty much any smartphone. And I think a lot of smartphones come with Acrobat. So, I mean, if nothing else, we do have a PDF version of the book that we can market as an ebook. But I know, like, a lot of ebook readers have their own specific file formats that are, like, proprietary. Yeah, well, they have comic book views for Kindle. Yeah, that's true. I've seen some Kindle comic book views where it's still live text, though. I don't know how that works. I have no idea. Ravenwood, have you seen the like sample that we put up for Children of Gaia? It's the book that we're about to come out with now. Is, well, Children of Gaia is the name of the series. The book that's coming out is called Great Nations of Rendaria, and that's like just one of many projects that will come out of this series. We've already started working on the next one. But we do have a free sample up of Great Nations. And then you can see what I mean about the text, like how it's part of the image. But it is a PDF, so I had one or two people tell me that they couldn't open it on their phone and they didn't understand why. Like, like, that's because you have to install PDF Viewer, and they were like, what? Like, well, I don't know if I can help you. Yeah, I snatched it from your last stream, from your stream last time. Awesome, cool. Yeah, so that's, I mean, you know, even the pages that are in that sample have been worked on since then, but that's the basic idea. So imagine that, but 150 pages long, and going into each individual nation and what they do, who they are, how they work, and then also going into describing the fall of the great nation. Quite tragic. That is the whole purpose of this book. That the author, the fictional author, is writing this book to preserve these nations that have been destroyed. And he's a character from the main story, Children of God. So I still every now and then get comments from people on Facebook and whatever about them having caught my last stream. And I think a lot of times people, you know, and not knowing, I didn't know that they caught my last stream because they weren't signed in. So it doesn't really count as a view for me, and it doesn't give me anyone to interact to. So, you know, I like to try and take a minute to just be like, hey, if you're watching this and you're not logged in, it's really easy to log in. You can log in with Facebook. And it's free, and it, you know, won't spam you or anything. It's just being logged in means you can engage in the chat, and you can, you know, it'll be helping me more because it's adding a view to my channel, and viewership helps attract other people. Anyway, if you're not logged in and you're watching this, please consider logging in. It's fun and easy. And you can still lurk, even if you're logged in, you don't have to talk. Just try to remember to say that at least once during the stream. At the risk of annoying people who have heard me say it a million times. Or maybe not a million. I don't think I've said it a million yet. And you can be informed when Jayel is live, if you want to, that is. Yay, thank you, Ravenwood. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch. The comments are just for people who feel comfortable talking. Oh yeah, I totally don't mind people lurking at all. Like, you can just sit there and watch without saying anything. That's cool, but if you're logged in, at least, you know, when my channel comes up, it'll say how many people are watching. And the more people that are watching, the more people will tune in. I have delusions of grandeur, you know. I would love one day to, like, have enough people that are logged in and watching that, like, someone from Twitch swoops down and, like, partners me. I'm sure that I have a lot of other criteria to meet before that could happen, but, you know. A big checklist. But viewership, from what I understand, is a large part of that checklist. Although, I don't know if they partner people that only stream creative. Like, all of the people that I know that have been partnered through Twitch are, stream creative but also do gaming. So that might be a part of it that I'm just not aware of. Because I don't do gaming, because if I did, I would never get anything done. Because I would just play games all the time, because I have a super addictive personality. Trying to keep my addictions aimed, like being addicted to work, being addicted to progress and getting things done. Karma the goat! That's not how it works, silly goose. That's not how what works. I don't know how anything works. I'm just, nah, people can get full partnership with Just Creative. Awesome! Yep, do you have to apply for partner status? Karma says yup, but I don't know if she's yupping to Ravenwood or to me. Hi Karma, how are you? You're having an awesome night. Thanks for stopping. Yay, Karma's here. Yeah, I still have no idea how the whole partnership thing works. I've only, like, anyone that I know that's partnered is really tight-lipped about it, and anyone that I know that talks about it isn't partnered. So, like, the people that I know that are talking about it, it's like a lot of guessing, like, oh, well, I think it's like this, and I think it's like that. But then, like, anyone that I know that's actually partnered is like, oh, well, you know, it's this thing, and they come and they tell you, and, you know, and it's, like, very vague, you know? I'm like, what, did you have to, like, sign a non-disclosure contract or something? Like... Or maybe it's just that they're saying things and I don't understand them because I'm kind of a goon. I'll definitely concede to being kind of a goon. A goofball, if you... I was yipping to the status of applying. Aha, yeah. Okay. But I definitely heard from a few people that you have to have, like, a high sustained viewership. If you apply for partnership status, like, they check at, like, what you're... And a few other things, like, they've got a pretty specific criterion from what I understand. But I just don't understand what it is. Like, I know it's numbers about things and stuff. I guess it helps viewership when you stream both creative and gaming, though. You apply, they turn you down for one reason or another, or tell you do something different, or what you can change to get partnership. Something about sustained viewers, how you draw more in. So I haven't, I don't think I've gotten any notifications of you, of Karma, of you streaming in a while. Is that something you've just, like, not been into lately, or... I don't know, there's all sorts of reasons not to. Sometimes it's time, or technology issues, and you definitely, you know, no pressure, I'm not trying to pry. I'm just curious, because I enjoy your streams. I haven't seen one in a while, so... Just... No, I haven't. Yeah, you know, I don't want my curiosity to come across as, like, invasive or anything, you know, so... Always feel free to let me know if I ask a question and you're like, none of your business, dude. Like, okay. That's legit. And evil video games, I tell you. Yeah. It says each partner contract is different too, so that's why partners don't say how much they make, because it varies. Oh, okay. Interesting. You know, it always amazes me. I've been streaming now for A little while. I mean, not like a long time, but done quite a few streams, and I still feel like everybody else knows more about streaming than I do. Like I'm all... I think sometimes I'm just a little overly focused on like getting the work done instead of like all the other things that go along with it. Which in some ways is good, but in some ways like I don't know. Like everybody knows more about technology. Everybody knows more about the community and the specifics than I do, and I'm like, how does he know so much? Are you all so brilliant? Yes, while I'm going over these blue lines, like, there's definitely a ton of places where I'm like, oh god, I'm so glad that I'm redrawing this because that is horrible. What was I thinking? Well, anyone watching should follow Karma in case Karma ends up streaming again. Just saying, just putting that out there. A little bit of goat hype. From one goat to another. You seriously, goats gotta stick together. They're underrepresented in the I don't know thing. Yeah, that sentence fell apart. Sure, I got nothing. Alright, so I think the first 4 panels of this page are I am comfortable calling Dunsey. He done. Goat hype. Interesting. True. Few things, in my opinion, are more interesting than mutual goat hype. Checking things and stuff. So, I feel like I haven't heard any stutters in the music. And I have yet to see any red warnings on my OBS about high encoding. I'm wondering if the combination of all of the things that I changed about my entire computer since Thursday have culminated into something like maybe that's it, maybe nailed it. Soon to speak, but I can hope. I'm not gonna jinx it. I actually, so, you know, I kind of think, like, in terms of, like, jinxing things or not, you know, I think sometimes, like, your perceived reality, your relationship with reality, the universe, whatever you want to call it, or not call it, that's cool too. You know, I think a lot of it does directly affect you based on your own beliefs. And that could just be, you know, you seeing what you want to see, or it could be like some actual like manifestation of things. I don't know. Whatever, it's philosophy. Like, it could all just be symbolic, you know. We relegate this to psychology, if or if you won't. You don't have to. But I think like it's what you think that makes those things effective or not effective. And I think my setup is such that like the universe demands hubris from me, and it's when I second guess myself or I'm afraid of jinxing something that it falls to shit. But when I'm just boldly like, this is gonna work, it just works. Like, I don't know. I think I just have that like kind of relationship with my own perception of reality, or maybe with reality itself. I don't know, that's for theologians, not me. But I feel very much like I have to be brazen or it won't work, you know? And like, I have to jinx things for them to work. If I don't cross that line, if I don't do the thing you're not supposed to do, it shows like trepidation, and the universe is just like, fail. Between us, I'm a little intimidated by goats. Yeah, well, you know, iron coating can be nothing but a warning sometimes. It will bog you down, so it seems fine so far, quality-wise. Awesome. Yeah, so the last few streams I've had high encoding warnings, and when I did, my image would skip a little or freeze for a second, but my audio would skip hard. Like, from what I understand, from what other people that were watching my stream was telling me, like, it would just cut off in the middle of words. Sound like I was like this, and when my music is playing, it's even worse, because, like, you know, music has a continuous rhythm, so when the music stutters, it's really noticeable and obnoxious. So I adjusted my audio settings, I adjusted my video encoding settings, I completely adjusted Windows so that there's no visual effects. I'm basically in Windows Classic mode right now, like gray, square, boxy windows instead of like the, you know, smooth, transparent windows that kind of blur everything behind them, which looks really nice, but like that does, you know, require the use of both your video card processor and I think your CPU. So I mean, you know, I just basically shut off everything in Windows and then messed with my encoding, like trying to fine tune it. You know, I don't want to just jack everything way down, but I turned it down a little bit in different places and did a whole bunch of different little things. I'm hoping that, you know, the combination of all the little things that I did is enough that everything will just run smoothly. And sometimes, you know, like, I'm listening to the actual music from my computer. I don't really know what you guys are hearing on your end. So, like, when other people tell me that it's skipping, I'm like, oh snap, you know, like, I didn't know. I need to be told, so yeah, every now and then, you know, if anything, like, quality-wise seems to be wonky, please do let me know. It's definitely, it's not annoying, it's not nitpicky, it's actually informative to me, because I really want my stream to be as nice of an experience for anyone that bothers to stop by as possible, you know. So, I always use Classic. I wonder if that's why mine never had much issue, even though I ran some red encoding. Maybe. I mean, like you said, you know, you can run some red encoding and it's not necessarily gonna affect anything, but it just depends on, like, I think it's a warning, right? So the warning could be like, you're getting close, or it could be like, you've crossed the line. I wish that the encoding warning was more like, I don't know, like a graph, like, or something, like how badly I'm having high encoding. But yeah, for sure, like the last couple of streams, anytime it went into the red, like, my whole stream would just glitch out. But yeah, so far I think the biggest difference is that right now I'm in classic mode, and that seems to be really helping. But I did also tweak a few other things, so what I might try to do is next time I stream, bring some of those other things back up a little. Like maybe I could enhance my picture quality slightly, or enhance my audio quality slightly and see if that messes it back up, or if it maybe it was really just Windows hogging all my RAMs and vid cards and RAMs. My goats. Goats, my goats. I wish it was a percent-based thing. Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, you made a smooth stream so far. Of course, right now you aren't using Adobe, so it may be different when Adobe is up. Well, that's true, but, and, you know, that's what I was thinking last time I was having high encoding problems, was that it might be Adobe, but then I think it was, Ravenwood, I think it was you who pointed out that my stream before that was traditional, and I was still stuttering and having high encoding issues. So, I guess we'll see on Thursday night, when I go back to Adobe, if these settings are enough that it can handle it all. Yeah, Adobe will eat any RAMs you give it. It will definitely just... like a dragon. Adobe is like a dragon. The more RAMs you give it, the bigger it grows. It never satiates. But I love Adobe so hard, I can't not use it. I also messed with some of my Adobe settings, as far as like, you know, utilizing all the hardware accelerations. I was like, well, maybe that's what's causing, you know, the fact that I gave like Adobe permission to use everything could have also caused some glitching on my digital streams. When I'm like, you know, streaming Photoshop, like I could see that. But it was also doing the same kind of glitching on my traditional streams, which tonight it's not doing. I'll know more on Thursday, I guess. Egg peeling song! Yay! You had a couple of stutters in traditional. Yeah, definitely. So is Google Chrome for some... For some people, they run multiple instances for no reason. Oh. Huh. Yeah, so that's the thing I'm wondering, right? Like, I have to have... If I want to have my regular, like, pop-out chat from Twitch with my BT TV, like, I have to be using Google Chrome. Well, I mean, BT TV for Firefox just doesn't. BT TV. Better Twitch Television. Better Twitch TV doesn't really work so well for Firefox. So I run Chrome, but then it's like, well, I have Unkbot. I could see my chat in Unkbot, but it doesn't show emotes, and if someone whispers to me, it'll just look like they're chatting to me. So sometimes I've like read whispers out loud, not realizing that it was a whisper. So I try to keep my actual Chrome window open to show the chat, right? But like, then it's like, well, now I have my popped out chat, but then I also have my minimized Chrome window of my Twitch stream. Is that gonna be affecting my stream quality or my ability to stream high quality? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm figuring it out based on mostly trial and error. because, you know, everyone's computer is different, and some people's computers can easily handle things that would make my computer burst on fire. And then, you know, my computer can handle some things that might make other people's computers burst into flames. So, a lot of it is just troubleshooting and experimenting, trial and error, like, hey, what happens when I do this? You can't peel eggs without opera. This is the egg peeling song. I just use Unkbot for a chat and ignore all the cool images. Yeah. It could. Just one of those computer quirks. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Again, my biggest issue with using Unkbot for the chat is when someone whispers to me, it just shows up as if it's in the chat. I think there's a way to change it so that it notifies you that it's a whisper. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should really just look into my Unkbots. And I don't really care too much if I'm missing out on emotes. Usually the emote names are enough for me to know what someone is inferring with their emotes. Sometimes though, like, I'll just read it as if someone typed something and I'm like, what does that mean? When actually it's just an emote and I'm like, oh duh, I'm looking at Unkbot. It's no emote. I run Django or YouTube playlists because Pandora will break my quality for some. Yeah, I've definitely. So I actually just downloaded and installed. Check. I forgot what it's called already. Ubar 2000. I used that to play just my MP3s from my computer. About Spotify, I know some streamers use Spotify, but I don't know if that has any benefits. Spotify is horrid for my music taste. Oh. That's the thing, right? Is finding music that you can play that you also like. Yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, so Fubar works pretty much like Windows Media Player, but uses like an eighth of the amount of resources. So I just made the switch a couple weeks ago. Maybe not even. From Windows Media Player to Fubar, hoping that would clear up my stream a bit. And it did a bit, but still not enough. So now I'm just like, I'm in this mode where I'm like, if I just do all of the things, every single thing that could possibly help my computer, if I just do them all in tandem, like, then it should work. So far, so good. What are your music tastes? Do you like egg peeling songs? Like this? It's such a... It came up last, I don't know, Thursday? Random, I guess, kind of inside joke, don't mind me. Ravenwood was peeling an egg while the opera song was playing, and it was like, this is perfect music for peeling this egg. So now this song is also known as egg peeling music. Cool. Oh well. Everything when when artsy enjoy blocking their music from Spotify. When artists enjoy blocking their music from Spotify, it's like, well, why even bother with it? Tool's one of those. I have most of the albums on my PC, if anything. I let people pick for the most part, or else I sink back into my dad rock or just relax arting. Yeah. You know, there's nothing wrong with dad rock. I dig it. Yeah, if you're looking for a good lightweight player, play music from your computer. So far, like I said, I've been using it for like a week or two. So far, Foobar seems to be working pretty well for me. Nice lightweight player. Doesn't really like a lot of onboard players just kind of get into all your files and try to track what you're doing with all your files on all your different drives, and like they just want to know what licenses you have and download stuff from the internet, and like, why, dude? Just play music. That's all you're supposed to do, is just play music. Like, why do you need to be using all of my computer resources for just playing an MP3? You know? So anyway, I got Foobar because it's just so lightweight and doesn't like get into all your stuff. That's might be worth checking out for you. I don't know. Unless you have something better, I don't know. I'll never claim to know all the things, but I will surely share freely anything that I do know. Yeah, I was just curious because I found almost everything on Spotify, so I kind of stopped using many of the built-in. I used to use Winamp. Oh yeah, Winamp was great. But I prefer the online ones. That's cool. Basically, I also, I think a lot of that depends on your the reliability of your internet, and some of that is your service provider. Some of that can also be structural to your building, like if there's anything near where your computer is set up or near where your router is set up that like runs interference. Like, I personally just try to like not have anything like actually streaming while I'm streaming, if possible. But my internet is a finicker of finiciousness. Also, most of my music is either, doesn't have like rights restrictions in the United States, or I'm using licensed, like from bands that I personally know, including like this song is from Jack Shell, and he actually wrote it for one of my projects. So like I have the rights to use the song. So if I post this stream on YouTube, for example, they won't tell me that there's like rights management issues or anything like that. And like if I go to save the stream to Twitch, it won't do that. What do you call it? Portions of this audio have been muted for infringement or whatever. That is just so annoying. Like, come on. That's something I don't get. Like, Twitch clearly has a standing relationship with YouTube, and YouTube definitely has the technology to just put up an advertisement when you're using something that you don't have the license to. I imagine that it's probably some kind of crazy legal thing that needs to be sorted, and maybe a tech thing as well. But like, it would be cool if at some point Twitch videos, if they just put up an ad or something while there's something that you don't have the rights to music-wise, instead of muting the audio, like, if you're streaming creative, there's pretty much no point of watching that if the audio is muted, you know? I mean, often. I don't know. I keep main gaming computer and streaming computers wired up, never wireless. Yeah, that's true. I'm definitely hardwired. Though if I stream from the PS4's wireless, it seemed okay. Yeah, that is a huge benefit to not have muted audio. Yeah, I definitely... I won't even, like, I don't even want to play anything with music that's gonna mute my audio. Try to only use things that I know will not mute my audio, and if I add something to my playlist and then, like, watch, you know, a recap of one of my streams and see that a section of audio has been muted, whatever caused the audio to be muted is coming right out of my playlist. Never gonna play. So when you have like an online playlist that's like less tailored, you know, like a radio station kind of thing, you don't really have that control of being like, only play things that aren't gonna get muted on Twitch, please, you know, which would be nice. Like, there should be an option for like only rights managed music, or, you know what I mean, or whatever the term is. Yeah, right. Which is like a shame, because like, there was even one band that was actually my friend's band, who I even performed with occasionally, and like did music videos for and all this stuff. And like, when I added their band to my playlist, my audio got muted for those segments, but that band broke up. They're no longer together. But whatever record company they were with, I don't remember, at the time, I guess still has the rights to that music and still has a, you know, a warrant out for its muting, whatever that's called. And I was like, but I've been on stage with this band. Why are you muting it? But like, how am I gonna, how can I prove that, or like, you know, without actually having like paperwork, and then who do I send that to? Am I gonna like get in touch with like Twitch legal to be like, can you unmute this audio? Like, it's all pretty automatic. I mean, it's not like a person is sitting there muting the audio, it's just algorithms that like recognize this audio has rights attached to it, mute, you know? But it sure is unfortunate. Oh wow, Skynet has you, you have been warned. Good job, Drunkbot. Yeah, see? Exactly, Drunkbot knows. It's creepy how, like, on point Drunkbot can be sometimes. I always feel like it's the drunks and the bots you gotta watch out for. So when a drunk bot comes along, be doubly cautious, that's all I'm saying. Crockpot is Skynet. True. Or like, you know, one of Skynet's fingers. One of Skynet's many far-reaching tentacles. Skynet is Legion! The lighting in here, am I like super blown out right now? Better? Make sure that I'm not like... Oh no! That's actually a good idea. I should talk to Jack about like making, I don't know, like an album of like music to stream to or something. Like, you know, selling it affordably as like a download or something. I love this music, and I think it's like so relaxing to like make artwork to this, you know, like beautiful and kind of not really distracting. Now you look fine? Cool. Time is it? 6:37. I'm gonna finish up this page before taking my first little break. You all can hold me to that. Not blown out, I mean. Oh, yeah. That's what I thought you meant. I just, you know, I have my OBS open, but it's like tiny in the corner, so that it's not blocking my whole like computer view. It's hard to tell, like, if it's well lit or like purple or tint or anything. So, Lindsay's first published book is almost done, if I'm not mistaken, right, Lindsay? Gonna be coming out this summer. Super awesome. And then also, Great Nations is gonna be the first book to come out from the publishing company that we co-founded, so she'll technically have 2 books coming out. She also edited Great Nations, which I would have about half the confidence that I do in the book, if not less, had it not been for her editing. Especially now that she's done all the editing, I'm like, wow, I didn't even know it was possible to make that many mistakes. Oh, Nightbot wants to jump in on that. They must have changed something either on UnkHeart, the program that runs UnkBot, which is behind DrunkBot, or Nightbot, because I used to have my bots interact a lot more, and now they just, like, don't. Like, why didn't DrunkBot just take that opportunity to totally snipe at Nightbot? I don't know. And lurking, proofreading while watching lurking. The book is coming out in June! Woo! That is so soon. It's amazing. Yeah, and the imprint is pretty well connected in terms of distribution, so that's exciting. And the book was really well received by the imprint, so that's exciting. Definitely a lot to be thankful for. Starting to get excited, pretty much wanted to kill the whole thing for a long time, so that's a step. You know, yeah, I kind of think, like, if your project doesn't drive you insane at some point during the work process, like, maybe it's not a good project. You know, if you don't want to destroy your project, probably something you don't feel strongly enough about, you know? I mean, that's not true of everyone, because some people are just, like, super zen and just don't ever get that, but I just mean, like, I think that's true for a lot of people, like, that kind of, like, care that you put into something that makes it feel, like, painful and you almost resent it. I think a lot of times that's the sign of a project that's actually worthwhile, when, like, everything that goes wrong with it doesn't cause you to give up on it. I don't know, whatever. Unsolicited opinions. Just throwing them out there. Catch! I'm a zen type of goat. Awesome. Yeah, I don't tend to get the, like, I want to destroy my project so much as just, like, sometimes I get unhealthy, like, you know, just tunnel vision about my projects. Like, sometimes I just, like, forget that I have a stomach that needs food in it, you know, like... and like neglect others that I should also do, you know, like regular daily life sorts of things. Yeah, I'll do that right after this super long-term project is finished. Which is not gonna happen because it's a super long-term project, you know. So if anything, I guess it's less of, like, for me, a concern of wanting to destroy my projects, as it's more of a concern of my projects destroying me. Out real soft before heavy lining. Dear Diary, today my project tried to kill me. So basically, octopi and goats are in cahoots to take over the world, all Zen style, because octopi could totally take over the world. I'm assuming goats are their agents on terra firma. What are... Is Irvine? No, Irvine is sheep, right? Goats. Bovine? Bovine goats? And then cephaline or octopi? I want to try and portmanteau those two words together. Know if it's possible. And I'm not even sure if those are the right two words. Could get messy. And mine. Right, so if it's in the, in that, whatever that list is called, would it be caprine then? Bovine, Ursa, Ursine, caprine? Anyway, squid goats for the win, in case anyone was wondering. Octopi goats, octopotes, cephalotes. No, it's just not working. First person to name it owns it. Something along those lines. Yeah. Cephalogoat? Octopotes has me laughing. Octopotes. I mean, those are all awesome. Oh. This panel I'm drawing outside my bleed lines, but that is because I'm considering in Photoshop rescaling it. I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to rescale it, so I want to just give myself a little bit extra. In case anyone's like, what is that dude doing? What's that guy doing? Right now most of this stuff is out of bounds, and I'm sure it's going to stay that way. If anything, I'll probably reframe in the opposite direction, where it's even further out of bounds, but... I just want to give myself that, like, room for control later. At least just with this one little panel. Somebody should definitely stream drawing one. Mutated goat and octopus mix would be an interesting creature. I absolutely agree to both of those points. However, I will say, I think instead of someone streaming drawing that, I think like several people should stream drawing that. Maybe a multi-stream. Dude, has anyone here ever seen multi-streams? I just saw one the other night. It was the first time I saw a multi-stream. It was so cool. And one of the people that was streaming was awesome. LD Bean, she was doing a multi-stream with a bunch of ZBrush artists. So they were like, they would each spend like 15 minutes on a piece and then pass it to the next person and like take the next one, spend 15 minutes on it. So like each piece was just this like mutation of someone different having it for 15 minutes and then someone else having it for 15 minutes. And you could watch all four of them streaming like in a row at the same time. But yeah, so I was thinking like, it'd be really cool to like auto stream, or multi-stream, like a, you know, a Wacom drawing or something in Photoshop. Can't watch most multi-streams. Some people just bother me so much when I love like one out of the bunch. Yeah, that's definitely, I get that, for sure. But just the idea of like seeing the creative process. I actually had everyone but the one person that I knew, like, I had muted. But I could still see all their chats, you know. And, you know, they were actually all pretty cool. I could hear them on her stream. It actually got crazy if I had all four, like, audio on at the same time. But, yeah, no, it was pretty fun. It was like, well, you know, if you have like-minded individuals and it's a good group, it could be really cool. I think eventually I'm going to try and multi-stream with a couple of people. Something like that, you know, like just passing something around in Photoshop, like taking turns working on it. Now, if I could get everyone I liked into one, yeah, that's the idea. Like, just get, like, your favorite people to multi-stream so you could just, like, sit back with popcorn. Like, just totally enjoy the heck out of it. Alright. I think this page is done. And it's 7 o'clock. I started at 5:30. So, I think it's a perfect time for a break if, none of you mind. I'm gonna take 5, and I'll leave you with my reel and our brandy new Oneshi Press video. We premiered it in my stream on Thursday. So, Raven, you've already seen it, but no one else has. Get set up with my next page. Ooh, coffee time! Yep, exactly. Coffee time is the right time. So yeah, I'm just gonna sign this, set up my next page on the board, and then I will step out. Breaks are good, right?
impressive, gorgeous worlds.
And you're invited to explore them. Come join us. Feel good about it?
Yeah?
Woo! You're the best! You're awesome! We love you! You're so cool! Thank you! Okay, I should be back. I should have audio, hopefully. You guys can hear me okay? Hi, everybody. For sticking with me on my break. What am I doing? Where's my pencil? Where are all my things? Okay. Break was good. It was fast. I got myself some pretzels and a fresh beverage. And, you know, did the things. Cool. Stretched my back a little so that I'm not, like, you know, crippling myself as I work. Even when I'm, like, alone working, I just try to, like, every hour and a half about, just get up and stretch. Like, not as young as I used to be. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on this. It's gonna be a little tricky for me because I'm gonna have to ignore a lot of my original lines to get consistency with, actually, I think what I'm gonna do, flip this new art here. Previous page so I can get better consistency going. And pretzel. Pretzel crumbs. All the things. Original layout for this page was a little on the wonky side. I did not have nearly the system developed that I do now when I first started this project. Pack and Tracy Queen are my first attempts at comic book art. I am a traditionally trained illustrator, so mostly like painting and markers and, you know, doing like single illustrations. I was never really had any schooling in like sequential art. So this has been a kind of interesting, you know, figuring it all out process for me. A lot of it I've been figuring out as I go. But actually having done the samples and now like redoing it all has been great because there's a lot of stuff that I've learned since then. Bar on that. Cat tried to steal your soup. That's when you know it came out good. Vegetarian soup and your cat tried to steal it? Although if it's anything like Chalathor, Sam probably has weird likings for odd vegetables like corn or beans or, you know, weird things that you just wouldn't think a carnivore would be attracted to. I open a can of beans and Chalathor is like, "You must give that to me, it is mine, I command it." I'm like, "Whoa, cat. Down. Not giving you my beans." Of course, what kind of cat wouldn't go for sweet and spicy cabbage soup? It sounds awesome, by the way. Yeah, whoa, that sounds awesome, exactly. This page has a lot of, like, break panels. Like, the bottle from this panel is breaking into that panel. Her head in this panel is breaking into that panel. So the panel's kind of, like, morph. Like, you know, there's a flow. Which is cool, I think. I like that idea. Definitely makes it a little easy to get confused and mess up. Supposed to have pork in it, but I forgot to get pork. Ergo, vegetarian because I used... Oh. Well, chicken isn't necessarily... I mean, most people I think wouldn't consider chicken vegetarian, so... But I've got this, we use a vegetarian, like, broth stuff called Better Than Bouillon. I think they also make, like, chicken and pork and other flavors, but they make some really delicious vegetarian broths. And it is surprisingly awesome. Karma says, "What?" Not sure what Karma is wedding to, but I'm intrigued. What's the what? Okay, so here, Nikola just took his first ever toke on a hookah. He's coughing his brains out because he's also, I guess there's no good way to say it. He is high on cocaine and drunk. I certainly do not condone raccoons doing cocaine or drinking. But it's part of his story, it's part of his character. All makes sense in the book. Part of his trajectory. Or if you won't, that's cool. He's got things to overcome. And, you know, a sad and tragic backstory of how he got to where he is. But chicken would make it not vegetarian either, right? Because it's made from chicken, right? Unless they're chickens that were grown on a chicken vine? Plucked from a chicken tree? This was that in My Big Fat Greek Wedding? He's vegetarian. What does that mean? He doesn't eat meat. Alright, fine, we'll have lamb. Not my best hand ever. Carve that out a little. Fix that up a bit. Maybe I got confused. My sister-in-law said she was vegetarian but would eat chicken, so I'm going by her standard. Yeah, incorrectly using the term, but we understand. Yeah, I guess like some people are vegetarian but eat fish, and that, you know, is technically not vegetarian because fish is meat. But some people just see it differently, I guess. A lot of people would call that like pescatarian, or like, you know, I don't eat, some people say like I don't eat red meat, or like I don't eat pork specifically, or I don't eat pork and red meat, you know, like there's different combinations, but I mean, generally if you're truly vegetarian, you don't eat any kind of meat, any animal. And then vegan would be like if you don't eat any byproduct of any animal, like anything that would require an animal to be a captive, a vegan would not partake in. Like, I would say I have mostly vegetarian tendencies. Like, I generally, unless I'm out or at a party, like, where or like, you know, if someone else made it, or if I'm like out to dinner, which is rare, or like at a party or celebration of some kind, I usually don't eat meat, but it's less of a hard rule and more of like a tendency for me. I think I limit my meat intake less to feel bad about, and I think, you know, most animals could be treated much better if meat was sold for more expensive in smaller amounts, if people ate less meat. Like, if meat wasn't a staple to your everyday diet, we would definitely be able to treat animals much, much better. And it would be less, you know, environmentally devastational, because for sure the meat industry is like super huge. A super huge amount of our pollution comes from the meat industry. And not just like pollution, but also like deforestation and, you know, all kinds of bad things, you know, like meat industry is also a reason why most apex predators are hunted into extinction or near extinction. And we wouldn't be quite as threatened by natural predators in their natural environment if we as a nation didn't eat so much meat. I'm not preaching, I'm just sharing my opinions and thoughts on the matter. Each their own, and we all have different roads to walk. All tackle different issues at different times, if at all. All got full lives. Certainly don't think preaching helps anything, anyway. But I like to freely share thoughts and information. And I generally try to accompany it with a disclaimer when I do. This is egg peeling music. This song is not for vegans. Some vegans are also stricter than others, not wearing leather or what have you. Right. You're right, some vegans are only dietary vegans. Some vegans are like lifestyle vegans. So leather would also be an example of something that's often not vegan. No worries, you shush, I love my meat. No, you shush, I love my meat. Okay. I do agree with treatment being more ideal for the animal, of course. I've been attacked verbally by some people because I own chickens for eggs. See, I don't know, I personally, like, if I could own chickens for the eggs, I definitely would, and I would feel so much better about it than buying eggs at a store. And it's like, chickens are going to produce eggs. And they're gonna do that regardless. And anyone that's ever owned any kind of bird knows that they produce eggs, whether they're fertilized or not. And, you know, a lot of times if they're not fertilized, they'll sit on those eggs until they go bad. And that can, like, actually be dangerous for the animal. You know, and I think, like, keeping an animal happy and, you know, taking good care of an animal in exchange for something like milk or eggs, I think that's great. I think that's a wonderful, like, you know, symbiotic relationship. And, you know, nature is made of symbiosis. Like, when an animal can provide something of use to another animal, then that animal has reason to defend it, and now it's symbiosis, you know. There's, like, countless examples throughout all of nature of, like, symbiosis working wonderfully. And I mean, if you look at, like, you know, factory farmed chickens that are, like, in cages too small to turn around in, I mean, it's horrible. Like, no creature should ever have to experience that. But I'm not saying, like, no one should eat what they want. I'm just saying, you know, there's things to think about, and, you know, solutions to be found. You know, I don't think anyone should be made to feel shame or uncomfortable about where they're at. I don't think that's ever nice or ever helpful. I don't think attacking someone is ever cool. Like, ever. But I think, you know, if you feel a certain way about something and you want to, like, share that thought with other people in case maybe it helps them stumble onto something that works for them, like, I also don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know. A lot of it just comes down to people can be jerks, you know, like, basically just don't be a jerk. Do what you're gonna do, just don't be a jerk, you know. I definitely will own chickens when I can. I would love to, and I think it would be awesome. Love chickens. I definitely have had a lot of fun with chickens, like people that I've known that have owned them. They're super cool animals, and eggs are freaking awesome. Like, most of my diet, well, not most, but a large percent of my diet is eggs. Not as if the chickens would do very well without humans to help them out. They've co-evolved with us for so long, it's a symbiotic relationship. Right. Exactly how I have to explain it to these people coming to my door. Why do you have chickens? What are you doing? Clean and friendly, run and coop. Clean and friendly, run and coop. But apparently having a chicken or 6 lay an egg is me being greedy and harming them. And keeping your own takes you out of the system that really hurts them. Those people are silly. Yeah, it's quite silly. I grew up on a family farm, so I learned the circle of life early. Chickens have such a personality. I never knew until I owned them. It's still I own them. Yeah, we used to get meat from My dad knew he's a veterinarian, and we often know their names. Chickens are cool. Have dinosaur feet. They do. Chickens are freaking awesome. And they definitely have different personalities. Like, some chickens are like total jerks, and some are like eyes, and like some are silly as all heck, and some are really serious. Like, I mean, these are like real personalities. Crazy. Like, really interesting how many like animals we tend to think of as like logos, you know, like dumb cartoon animations of like this thing that's just such an idiot. If it rained, it would drown because it would look up at the sky in awe. You know, like, and then you actually get to meet an animal and you're just like, wow. Dude, like, I might trade my cat for you. Sorry, Chell, but you're kind of an ass. That chicken is sweet as hell. Just kidding, cat. God forbid he heard me say something like that. But yeah, I'll still eat chicken. I would love to think that I could, you know, find myself in an option where I would only be eating chicken that I knew was, like, given a good life before being eaten. I think the more people think about those things, you know, the more, like, consumer power. Like, if people don't buy things that they don't agree with, it forces producers to only make things that people agree with. You know, so by thinking about those things and making, like, whatever the best decisions you can are, but also, like, sharing that idea, like, maybe you can't afford to make the decisions that you would like to make, but you can share those ideas with people who maybe can afford to make those decisions, and it still, like, affects things. You know, it still, I think, hopefully, I mean, maybe I'm being naive, it can still, like, help to just get that information out there and, you know, like, coerce producers to be more responsible than they would be left to their own devices, you know. I mean, one of the terrible things about, like, a free market society, or an open market society, is people can do what they can get away with. One of the great things about an open market society is people won't do what they can't get away with. If something is costing them sales, they'll stop doing it. There's a lot of power to being a consumer. Maybe even more power to being a consumer than to voting. I mean, every time you spend $1, you're voting on something. You're voting on the way things are done. So anyway, I don't know, I'm just rambling and ranting, and I'm probably boring you all to tears, and if anyone wants to slap me, you can. Just, like, type it into the chat, slap Jayel Draco, I'll get the memo. Chickens you release into the wild get eaten if they were born in captivity. My cousin tried that. Yeah. One of my Silkies love running into the grass when it rains and plopping down all crazy. It's hilarious. Aw. Yeah, I definitely don't want anyone, like, to confuse my thinking out loud and ruminating on ideas or whatever to, like, be confused with me preaching or anything. And if I ever sound like I am, feel free to tell me, because that's something I don't want. Definitely don't want to be one of those poops that attack people for, like, living how they live and doing what they do, you know, like... But even not, like, attacking someone is an extreme. Like, that's an extreme way of being a jerk. But even just, like, making someone feel uncomfortable, like, by rambling too long about something that they really don't want to hear about. Like, I don't want to do that. So you all have my permission to smack me. Virtually, though. Virtual slap! Fine, Jayel. Oh, thanks. Wait. Oh yeah, video. I need to the next time it rains and awkward weather now. They've been staying mostly in the coop or the front area. Yeah. Alright. Well, just putting that out there, you know? I've definitely had enough of people assuming that their ideas are universal and making other people feel shitty for not having the same ideas. Had enough of it! So this page might take me a little longer than the last page, because now I have to work out some things that have changed since I drafted this. Like, her hairstyle is different than it was when I first drafted this. It's like super easy to mess up, so... And I mean, Tracy's hairstyle can change and from many, like, scene to scene, but not from page to page. Like, this is supposed to be taking place within, you know, the same time frame as the page before it, so I have to keep the actual, like, cut, at least, style consistent. When I show her, you know, in a completely different scene after a time lapse, like, I think it makes sense in Tracy's personality that she'll always, like, have something new and different and outrageous about herself, because she's an outrageous person. She's just wonderful and fancy-free like that. But truly believe continuity is the heart of sequential artwork. What's the current song playing? I really like it. Oh, jeez. I'm sure it was I think it was a Jack Shell song, but I have my playlist on random, so if I hit back, I don't think it'll take me back to the last song that played. I think it'll take me to a random song. I could try it though. Is this the song that was playing? Because if so, this song is called Sleaze, and it was written by Jack Shell about Tracy Queen. So this is actually like Tracy Queen's, I don't know, homage song, theme song, I don't know what you'd call it. Figured I would like it. Awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna try real quick just to find a link. 1 second. If I could find... It's Jack. Okay. So here is a link to Jack's Facebook page, if anyone wants to check that out. And then there's also, I think it's just www.soundbeaver. Makes really great music, and he's like super easy to like, you know, he'll probably do something like on an exchange or a trade or for like super affordable amount if you had any like projects that you wanted something written for or about, you know, especially if you tell them that I sent you. I don't know if anyone here has projects that they use audio for or anything like that, but also I'm seriously considering talking to him about like making an album, an affordable download for an album that's like curated as like music to stream with kind of album or something. Funny, a lot of his songs actually remind me of video game music to begin with. Like there's definitely a beach scene in Mario Kart that this song always makes me think of. I can't really remember the name of the level. Maybe I'm combining a couple different levels in my head. I definitely get this like beachy Mario Kart vibe. I was totally spelling it wrong. I might have spelled it wrong, I don't know. I am very atrocious at spelling. Like, I could spell my name wrong and not know unless someone else points it out. Pretty much anytime I write anything, I'm like, Lindsay, help! Can you look at this and tell me how many things are wrong and help me fix them? Pretty bad. So this is on random, but it's playing all Jack Shell songs now. It must know. The other one reminded me of Sonic, Fable, and a touch of an unknown game. The gambling area in Sonic Wood area in Fable. Soundweaver.com/music. Ah. Yeah, I should probably just have a command for hyping Jack Shell. He's also just such a great guy. Like, I really, I want more people to, like, know about his music and, like, use his music for more things, because I really want him to be able to, like, focus on making music more. Yeah, I often get a sense of, like, I feel like this is from a game that I've played, but I don't know which one. Like it should be in a game, even if it's, it's not, but, like, it just feels like it should be a game that I should know. Feels like music from a game that I would play. I guess that's to say, like, types of games tend to have types of music that are paired with them. Sounds like music that would be paired with a game that would be my type of game. There's actually an image of Jack that Jayel made on that page. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Man, website's a bit outdated. It's like 5 years old. Maybe I don't have this on random. Oh, maybe when I hit back and then play again, that might have killed the randomness. I don't know, I'm still getting used to Fubar. It's a cool player, but very simple. Super simple interface, and functionality is very simple, which is why I use it. But it just, means I have to get a little used to that. Yeah, if I hit this button, is that going to completely change the settings that it was on, or, And, okay, so I guess it is mixing, because now it's playing a Final Fantasy song. well, so bad. Coming together. Weird perspective, you're kind of making it look. My alert box and my chat box, for some reason, like, I feel like whenever I switch scenes or whenever I start streaming, I have to, like, open their properties box and hit OK for them to work. Like, they always seem to just reset. I don't know. I'm sure it's probably just something I set up wrong. This song's kind of chickeny. It's a Chocobo song. Oh, it's over now. Was kind of chickeny. Skynet has you. You have been warned. Alright, Drunkbot, you gotta come up with something different to say. This is not so easy. Tubey lines. Tubey lines. There's so many lines in the tube. Dang. My music just stopped. It's weird. However, I did not get a high encoding warning. It was just my Ubar just seemed to like pause for a second there. Still way better than what was happening on previous streams. I mean, I don't know how that was for you guys. For me, it just sounded like the music just kind of paused for a second. Strange, but not terrible. Can't tell you how many hours of my childhood, accompanied by this song. Zelda. It stopped for you to just. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I don't know. The Skynet doing weird Skynet things, I'm sure. Skynet's gonna Skynet. Just a blip in the song. That's all we are. We're just blips in the song. The universe, from the Latin universa. We are all but blips in the ones. If that. Whew. Eh. There's different ways I could have gone with that, like from Pink Floyd, The Wall. All in all, you were all just blipped song. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Take it back immediately. It's fine. It's fine, we forgive you. It's fine, just don't let it happen again. This panel, Tracy blows smoke rings, and it's super cool because she's awesome. Whew. Alright. Tomorrow I have to go to work. And today, completed for like 3 hours. Walking to work is gonna suck. I mean, it'd have sucked more if I had to walk in the sleet. Still dreading all the ice. Oh god, yeah. The lag posted a thing. A Tumblr thing. Oh yeah. Awesome. That guy is awesome. Yes, always do like that guy. Whenever you can. And even when you can't, I still suggest it. So, no trolls for squishing today. I'm mobile, so I can't see if you changed your hashtags. Yeah, I was saving this sad announcement for the end of the stream. I was gonna see how it went, and yep, I changed my hashtags, and that so far I haven't gotten a single troll. That kind of really pisses me off. The idea that, like, I can't put feminism as a hashtag without getting trolled to shit is just fucking sad and anger. Really annoying. But you totally called it. I was noticing that too. And I was actually about to say something about it, so yep. It was like every time I've streamed with that hashtag, every single time I've gotten trolls. And I didn't have any before I started using that hashtag, and as soon as I stopped using it, I haven't gotten any trolls. What kind of stupid shit is that? I mean, you know, conversely, I've also had a few really positive interactions specifically because of that hashtag. You know, I've made some friends because of it. People that, like, stop by that might not have otherwise. You know, and then ended up sticking around and finding it really cool. So, for some reason, I imagine the witch scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but replacing witch with feminist. Yeah. Usually by now we've had at least 2 of them. I'm being superstitious about the troll world. Yeah, I feel like if you even type out the word troll like as one word, that's enough. They like smell it like sharks smelling blood in the water. They'll come. So I like that you're typing it out with dashes, and yeah, like maybe they won't catch on that we're talking about them. You know, and it's like, people think like feminism is anti-male. Granted, there might be some anti-male people who also self-identify as feminists, but like, the main like binding tenet of feminism being that like, females should have equal rights to males. Kinds of people that think that, you know, some people are, you know, anti-sex, and some people are sex positive, and some people are anti-male, and some people are not. Some feminists are male. Like, you know, it's just really sad that, like, people just have this idea of, like, anyone who would use the word feminist must clearly be a hate-mongering, you know, angry, evil person who wants to take away men's genitals or something. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you afraid of? What do you think? I mean, shit. I need feminism as a male, because, like, fuck anyone who thinks they have the right to tell me what a real man should be. And threaten my, you know, masculinity if I don't behave in the way they see fit. Like, patriarchy is harmful to men too, dude. You know, like, everyone should get behind it. Like, sorry, I shouldn't be ranting, and now I sound like I'm preaching. Whatever. Sorry, caught myself. Anywho, trolls suck. Oh man, I keep catching myself sounding like a preachy person. Make me wonder, shit, am I just a preachy person? That's annoying. But change that. Here's the instruction booklet. Reboot. Whoop. Sometimes I just can't help it. When an idea comes up somehow about something that I feel am passionate about. Just like to talk. And the more impassioned I feel about it, the more impassioned my talking is going to come out. I know how annoying it is, even for me, like when I'm listening to someone who thinks, whether they think it or not, who is talking as if they've taken the stance that their way of viewing something is correct and is the only way. Like, I don't like when I'm made to, like, you know, suffer that from others, so I certainly don't want to do that to anyone else. Puts head on Lindsay and Jayel's shoulder in a weird way that manages when it's clearly impossible. I like you if that counts, and we can use the F word around me. Awesome. That was totally sweet and endearing. Thank you. Yay! I'm so glad to know I'm not the only one who feels the need to clarify that I'm going for sweet and endearing. Well, I was wondering if that would seem like I was saying feminist was a bad word, and then made all And that made me all uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah. No, we got you. You're good. I mean, and I think the point is, to some people, it is a bad word, and people are not here. Buzz. Buzz. Oh, getting the top of my head again. Take that! You shall be made to suffer the top of my head. Ah! Dirk. Sadly, because of my work, I must try to sheepish. Dirk, though, if that's okay by you. Sorry I wasn't better conversationalist. Don't worry about the top of your head. Just get the urge to fluff your hair. That happens regardless of a position or person. Okay. Well, If you should happen to successfully fall asleep, and I don't get to say goodnight to you when I'm done, which will be soon anyway, just sleep well. Thanks for hanging out, and have a great night. Work goes well, and I hope getting there. Stupid ice. Hey, you two, it better not be the ice rink I think it is out there. Oh. Spring is just around the corner. Dream of spring. Don't slide into the river again. Oh, yeah, don't. That's what it was. Yeah, I bet. Jeez. It's not the right time of year to be in a river. I don't know that it ever is, depending on the river. Some rivers are like cold even in reasonable time. Okay, I think just one panel left and I'm done. cars, stop cars, not human. Backwards. Base warm. Yo. I think also my technique has changed quite a bit, as I said, and style. But most importantly, the mechanical parts of my technique changed since doing this original page. One of the big differences is that at the time, I was just kind of drawing whatever size I thought would be comfortable to draw a panel in, and then photoshopping them together for my layouts. And one of the things that's really bad about that is the line thickness and line size and quality changes from panel to panel. Now I draw them all on one page, all large, all at one size, I know that all of my pages are going to have exactly the same quality. That'll give a much more cohesive look to the. In addition to me having to draw her hair differently and a whole bunch of other smaller but still important like that. Finish her tube up, and then I have to friggin' soak my hand with that. So, gang, might be it for the evening. Good, thank you. So, that's from drawing. You know you're doing it hardcore. Extreme drawing. Alright, so I think the last thing for me to do with this page is to scan it and convert it to inks digitally, send it out to the flatter so that I can pick this up on Tuesday night for coloring. Exciting. Alright everybody, good night. Thank you for checking out my stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, next time. Peace out, fam!